there's a trailer that dropped recently for an Amazon Prime film that's coming on July 24th. And if we had Oscars anymore, it might contend for a number of categories, especially for Rosamund Pike, who looks fantastic. She's playing Marie Curie in a film called Radioactive. Trailer just dropped. You guys can check it out if you want to. I thought it looked really, really interesting. It's funny. We just had a conversation the other day about biopics and what makes some of them interesting versus other ones that are not. There's a hook in the middle of this one that really was a gut punch to me. I won't tell you guys what it is in case you want to watch the trailer or maybe even go into this story blind. And I kind of think at this point, all three of us are on board with anything that Rosamund Pike does. So I assume this is something you guys feel like checking out. You'll see when it comes to Amazon Prime.
Yeah, for me, it kind of falls under that biopic umbrella where I think the performance looks better than the actual movie does, which tends to be, for me, kind of my issue with films like that. I think she looks absolutely incredible, and it does not surprise me in the least bit. The movie itself, I think, looks fine. I knew a little bit about that story kind of going in, so I knew the direction it was heading. And if you don't know much about the story, I would argue just wait until you see the film because it's going to take some really interesting directions that you might not expect. But no, I think that, like I said, I think the movie looks fine, but I think she looks fantastic. So obviously, yeah, definitely worthy of my time.
Yeah, and I was telling you guys prior to the segment that when I watched the trailer, I couldn't help but think about the slates they were putting up that literally looked like Shape of Water. Like the trailer, like you ever notice that sometimes where like studios try to recapitalize on the way a trailer looked?
Well, I
like
think a lot of it too. I don't think they're ripping off trailers. There are studies that have been shown about like what color on color looks best to the human eye, which is why there are so many posters that use orange and blue, because that is proven to be one of the most like fusionable two colors together. So I think a lot of times it's less. I really don't think that they looked at the Shape of Water trailer and went like, hey, let's. I think it was more of like, oh, like these two colors look good against.
It's not only just the colors; it's the font, though. Like
it's
the font.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
There's water bubbles. Yeah. I mean, but in general, though, Rosamund Pike. Like we were talking about off air earlier, ever since Gone Girl.
It's not Rosamund, is it? It's Rosamund. Rosamund?
Oh
I
swear to God. Are we a professional
I'm not doing
podcast?
a bit. I swear to God, I'm not doing a bit. It's
Rosamund
Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike. Is that wrong?
I would have said, if I had to put money down, I would have said Rosamund Pike.
Well, there you go.
I mean, who's to say?
Am I batting 1,000 on this show?
No.
Rosamund Pike. Obviously, her performance was incredible in Gone Girl, so I'm all in on anything she does.
So good.
There are this is actually a biopic that I find that I want to learn from. Like Hidden Figures was a film that I learned a lot about a story. I don't know a ton about this story, so that's why I'm kind of interested in seeing it from that perspective. And I saw Theory of Everything was mentioned in the Jenny Slate in the trailer, and it basically said from the producers of Theory of Everything, right? And that was actually a solid biopic. I thought they did a really good job with that. I mean, there are times where these biopics check off certain boxes, but I don't know this story that well, and I'm actually interested in seeing it. I just think her performance looks incredible, so I'm all in.
All right. This is going to somewhat feed into the next conversation that we're about to have, but I'm going to make a confession that I don't hate all these movies coming to streaming. It's kind of nice on a Saturday night to hop over to Hulu and watch Palm Springs, or to just have the old guard waiting on Netflix. I know that we're a champion of movie theaters, and believe me, when movie theaters open back up, I'm there. But I'm getting a little bit between Hamilton going to Disney Plus and Palm Springs coming to Hulu, and I'm starting to get a little bit conditioned to, hey, it's not so bad having these new movies waiting for me on my TV.
It's best case scenario of a worst case scenario.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I don't want it to become the norm, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. The convenience of it is a little bit nice. So